You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is the significance of the spring portal being officially closed? Well, the quarterback situation remains. Rickie Collins and Jakhari Williams are still with Syracuse football. And I must say that I am pleasantly surprised about the lack of activity with Syracuse's quarterbacks, especially after the addition of Notre Dame's Steve Angeli. If you recall, I own it. I was wrong. I predicted that when Syracuse got Steve Angeli out of the portal, that one of, if not both, Rickie Collins or Jakhari Williams would enter the transfer portal. And there were a couple of reasons why I felt this way. Number one, and I still think that this is true, Steve Angeli isn't coming here to be Syracuse's backup quarterback. He did not leave Notre Dame's backup job to then be Syracuse's backup. That just does not make a whole lot of sense for Steve Angeli, right? So that's number one. And he's got limited experience, but albeit pretty good experience when he has been on the field for Notre Dame. The other reason why I believed that we were going to see another quarterback or two enter the transfer portal is because head coach Fran Brown mentioned that after he named Rickie Collins the starter, keep in mind this does predate them getting Steve Angeli, that Syracuse may see multiple quarterbacks leave in the portal. And the only one of somewhat significance that left is Michael Johnson Jr. That's it. So this is a big win for Syracuse football that they were able to keep their top three quarterbacks on the depth chart. So what does it look like right now? Well, I think you got a tie for first. I'm just going to call it a tie until we know officially who is going to be the starting quarterback. I mean, feel free to comment in the comment section below your thoughts on who you think will be Syracuse's starting quarterback next year. But it's between Rickie Collins, the transfer from LSU, who they got in December, or Steve Angeli, the most recent addition, the transfer from Notre Dame. And then in third is Jakhari Williams, a redshirt freshman that has now been with Syracuse he's now with Syracuse for his second season. This is the best case scenario. This is a really good thing that Syracuse was able to keep all three. And we got a quarterback battle now on our hands. That's great that nobody left in the transfer portal. Also good for Rickie Collins. I'm really happy for him. I never hold it against players if they decide to transfer for one reason or another. And in the case of Rickie Collins, I definitely would not have held it against him if he decided to enter the portal, because he's again, he doesn't play like Steve Angeli, but he's got a similar career archetype or career arc like Angeli. This is a former top recruit who goes to a top school and in LSU. Can't really crack the field over there because they got a number of quarterbacks that are blocking him, whether it's Jaden Daniels in 2023 or Garrett Nussmeier in 2024 or Garrett Nussmeier again in 2025, this upcoming season. And so he transferred to Syracuse in December. That unless Kyle McCord was going to get another year of college eligibility, and we'll never know if he was going to get that another year of eligibility, he was going to start. I mean, sure, he had to earn the starting job. Like he was not going to be able to just stink it up over spring ball and then get the starting job. Fran Brown doesn't operate that way, but he knew coming to Syracuse that this was going to be a good opportunity for him. He would have a chance to be named the starting quarterback, and lo and behold, he predictably wins the quarterback battle. He beats out Michael Johnson Jr., he beats out Jakhari Williams, he beats out the true freshman that Syracuse got in 2025, and so he is the starting quarterback. Now, I do want to mention that Rickie Collins does have a hand injury, so just keep that in mind. It hasn't been reported as super serious, but who knows? Maybe it's more serious than we thought, and that's why they ultimately decided to add a guy like Steve Angeli, someone who could probably start for Syracuse this upcoming season. But he was named the starting quarterback, and Fran Brown publicly praises him, says all the right things about his new quarterback. And then they go out and get Steve Angeli. As a competitor, you don't want someone taking your job. I understand that they've all said the right things that are out there, but deep down, just as a competitor, that's gotta hurt. But Rickie Collins decided to stay with Syracuse. And again, I would not have blamed him one bit if he's like, you know what? I worked my butt off to be the starting quarterback of Syracuse football. I wanted this opportunity. And now you're sitting here and you're going and getting Steve Angeli. Well, screw off. I'm going to go enter the portal and maybe I don't find a starting job at a Power 4 school, but I guarantee you Rickie Collins can find a starting job somewhere in the group of 5 at least and get more playing time. But he decides to stay knowing that he may not be the starting quarterback of Syracuse football in 2025. So good on him. Great competitor. And overall, let the best man win the job, whether it's Steve Angeli or Rickie Collins.